Today, I messed up by texting my pregnant wife that this isn't working. The morning started like any other. I kissed my wife goodbye, marveled at her growing baby bump, and headed to work. We had ordered a beautiful freestanding mirror for our bedroom, and I was excited to see it delivered today. I sent her a quick text. The new mirror came in. I'm going to try to put it together, but I may need your help later. Then, I headed into the office, eager to tackle the day's tasks. My office had a strict policy against phones during work hours, so I dutifully turned mine off and placed it in my desk drawer. Little did I know, this simple act would set off a chain of events that would unravel the day. After a busy morning of meetings, I finally got a chance to tackle the mirror assembly during my lunch break. I unpacked the mirror, laid out the pieces, and began to work. To my dismay, it was more complicated than anticipated. After an hour of frustration and a few minor injuries, I admitted defeat. I typed out a message to my wife, "This isn't working, and at this point, I think I need to just give up." I hit send, feeling a bit defeated but not too concerned. I imagined she'd laugh at my inability to assemble a simple mirror, and we'd finish it together later. Hours passed. When I finally turned my phone back on, I was greeted by a barrage of notifications, 30 missed texts and calls from my wife. My heart sank. Her messages ranged from confused to frantic, asking how I could do this to her. I had no idea what she was talking about. I tried calling her, but she didn't pick up. Desperate, I sped home, my mind racing with every worst-case scenario. I replayed the morning in my head, wondering what could have gone so wrong. I burst through the front door to find my wife packing a suitcase, tears streaming down her face. She looked up, saw me, and started sobbing harder. I dropped to my knees, crying, begging her to tell me what was wrong. Through her sobs, she told me she received a text from me saying I wanted a divorce. She showed me the message, and my heart dropped. I immediately realized what had happened. My first text about the mirror had not gone through. Only the second, ominously ambiguous message had arrived. I tried to explain, to piece together the misunderstanding. It was about the mirror. I swear, I was talking about the mirror. She looked at me, confusion replacing the anger on her face. Slowly, understanding dawned. We spent the evening in tears, holding each other, her packing forgotten. She told me she had even contacted a divorce lawyer in her panic, unable to understand why I would send such a cold message out of the blue. We laughed through our tears at the absurdity of it all. She vowed to never let me attempt any more assembly projects without her supervision. We ordered takeout, too exhausted to cook, and sat on the couch, holding each other, promising to communicate better. The next morning, we woke up, both a little more tender and cautious. We recounted the story to each other, the absurdity of it slowly turning into something we could laugh about. We decided to give the mirror another try, this time together. It stood in our bedroom by the end of the day, a reminder of how easily things could be misunderstood but also how quickly they could be fixed with love and communication. A week later, we were at a dinner party with friends. The story had become one of those legendary mishaps, shared with laughter and mock horror. My wife, now less emotional about it, had taken to calling the mirror the divorce mirror. Months passed, and the memory of the mirror incident became a fond, albeit embarrassing, memory. But then, one day, we received a package in the mail. Inside was a small mirror, beautifully framed, with a note that read, "To help reflect on what truly matters." Confused, we looked at each other. There was no sender information. We chalked it up to a thoughtful friend who knew our story. We hung the mirror in the hallway, a small, daily reminder of our journey. About a year later, on a quiet Saturday morning, there was a knock on the door. I opened it to find an older woman standing there, looking hesitant. She introduced herself as the previous owner of our house. She had a wistful look in her eyes as she explained that she had lived here with her late husband, who had built that very same freestanding mirror for their bedroom many years ago. She had heard about our story through mutual acquaintances and wanted to see the house one more time. We invited her in, and she shared stories of love, laughter, and challenges. It was a poignant reminder of the love that had built our home before us and the love that would continue to grow within its walls. As she left, she turned and said with a smile, "May your reflections always be clear and your misunderstandings few." We stood together in the doorway, watching her leave, feeling grateful for the unexpected ways life brings lessons in love. Our home felt warmer that day, not just because of the memories we had made but also because of the ones we had inherited, woven into the fabric of our daily lives. The real twist came a few weeks later. My wife and I were going through some old boxes in the attic when we found an old diary. It belonged to the previous owner, the same woman who had visited us. In it, she had written about her own marital struggles and how that mirror had been a gift from her husband to symbolize their commitment to never giving up on each other, no matter how tough things got. We sat there in the attic, reading her words, feeling an even deeper connection to our home and to each other. That mirror, once a symbol of a misunderstanding, had transformed into a beacon of hope and resilience, a testament to the enduring power of love.